City Council went on its retreat, and they patted themselves on the back and said, we made 8 successes. So I'm going to ask Dee in rapid fire 8 questions about the 8 successes. Dee, use of force, was it a big success?
A little bit. Okay, so incrementally, and that's fine. The thing of it is that, and I guess I should tell you that the Citizens Police Advisory Committee, the last meeting was on Wednesday of this week, and in it, those citizens who were handpicked from the Racial Justice Coalition by the Chief of Police. You have to watch folks who kind of handpick. No, the police can't very well police the police. We all know that. But anyway, this was the composition of the Racial Justice Commission. So they had a meeting and they emailed me. And in fact, and I just need to disclose that as somebody that is chair of the NAACP Criminal Justice Reform Committee, some of those members do overlap. So they were at the meeting that I held last week. One of the things that they told me was, don't you dare go over the chief's head to City Council. Okay, so let me just say that the reason why I went over the chief's head was because the use of force people had not even had an update about the use of force. My whole thing was with the chief, that we had gone to the chief, and one of the things you'll learn about me is that I believe in following process and procedures, but when those fail, I'll go on to the next level. And we don't have a whole lot of time. So the upshot is this, is that use of force seems to have fallen flat. There was no update from the police chief. So what we did was went ahead with data collection, and we demanded through council committee chaired by Cecil Bothwell that the data that is missing from the Asheville Police Department about use of force that has declined precipitously by 83% over 5 years, that it be justified with logical explanations. And we also have demanded that we go before full council. So just let me say that that's been just this use of force policy, because folks were handpicked, and as you know, most of the time when they are handpicked, folks kind of know what they're doing. It's falling kind of short, quite a bit short, but we intend to pursue the way that we have with City Council instead of just
Okay, City Council put forward a $74 million bond referendum for 3 categories: parks, transportation, and affordable housing. Was that a success?
That is nefarious. In other words, when you see the bonds that were floated, nothing was itemized. As somebody that looks a lot at how budgets are allocated and things are set up in pro formas, one of the things that we know is that those big categories are there, but City Council themselves will tell you that they have all sorts of range within those bonds. So I would say to you that unless we the people hold feet to fire, that money will be spent in all sorts of ways for which it was that we never intended when a lot of us voted for that bond referendum. So I would say that it's up to us to make sure that it's successful, particularly as it pertains to affordable housing. It's a duty, so stay woke.
And we are awake, yes indeed. The third success that City Council praised itself for was the comprehensive plan for Asheville's 29 neighborhoods. What do you think about that? Is that a success?
I've talked to some neighborhoods, and basically, particularly African-American neighborhoods on the south side of town, particularly the ones that stand in the way of gentrification efforts. None, no plan, no query, no nothing. And the reason why I know this to be true is that I went to the city's economic development director, Sam Powers, and his subordinates, Heather and Jeff, and basically they told me this: you call a meeting, and I do chair and created an economic justice work group / summit, and you'll be hearing more about that. But at any rate, what they told me was that you need to call a meeting of that committee. And when you do, we'll make sure the black community or communities that have been left out get represented. So I would say to you that there's a lot of communities that that have not had any input whatsoever, and I've got proof from that, just that. And that's on the record, by the way, when we met last week to discuss Wall Street Pool.
Okay, do you know what the city plan is for your neighborhood? That would be a question. All right. Another success. City Council is proud that it took back its power to vote on hotels and other development downtown.
Do you know the statement, the phrase, too little, too late? Okay, so it's a city election coming up. So they give this power away to P&Z or whomever. So they have a hurry-up meeting last week to take back the authority to regulate hotels coming into downtown or into town. And we have a total proliferation of hotels wherever they can be built. And these are just everywhere. So all of a sudden, by them just taking back their authority, the damage has been done. So I say that's an abysmal failure.
Another success that City Council praises itself for is its partnership with Duke Power. That Duke Power made the transition from coal to natural gas, and now the city is working with Duke so we can reduce our energy consumption. Is that a success?
No, that's not sustainable. First of all, if you're on city council, our policy was we're supposed to be reducing carbon emissions or our carbon footprint 80% by 2020. I don't think we're going to make it. Do you? Okay, so do we hold city council's feet to the fire? There are some of us who do, but more of us are going to have to. In other words, nobody is holding their feet to the fire. Duke has brought up what they call their community representative. The gentleman's name eludes me, but he's been brought up by the corporation to sort of ameliorate. They formed some sort of partnership with City Council, and they're pretty much turning their heads the other way, and we pretty much are not holding anybody's feet to the fire. I hope that'll change with our candidacy and when we win so that we can change the policies. That's where it all begins and ends. But abysmal failure.
And Duke Power's natural gas is fracked from Oklahoma.
Land of 4,000 earthquakes.
Yeah.
Right. Already.
Number 6. Was it a success that the city of Asheville went to court and took back the water system from the state legislature?
I would say that was a success. We got the water back and it's in our dominion. But one of the things that I want folks who are environmentalists to think about is managing a watershed from a regional perspective. And that's for sustainability purposes. Basically, our water system is a cash cow. There are some things that are more important than money, okay? So I want you to think about kind of a watershed management standpoint. That is how I look at the French Broad River, as a total watershed, not as a supply system. I know we use it, but we need to think about managing it a lot better. So that's a policy thing that we need to really sit down and think about. But yes, we got it back, but we need to think about how we make it more swimmable, drinkable, and the whole 9 yards. We have to keep that resource, so we need to be better stewards of it rather than piping it and selling it.
Number 7, City Council praised itself for hiring an equity and diversity manager.
Okay, so if you are somebody who likes truisms and catch words and all of that sort of thing, and you don't rely on results and you're just a political creature, I call him an equity czar, whatever it is, okay? So let me just say this. Every time, when we had a conversation with the city manager and the city government, like we told them, you guys don't even have appropriate data. So how are you hiring this person and how do you properly charge that person, that individual? I'm a logical person, so don't just tell me and make me feel good by telling me that you're going to hire somebody who's going to look out for us. We are the ones that we've been waiting on to say this, okay? You can't bring people in who don't love the people to look out for them, okay? So my answer to that is pretty superfluous. I'm not somebody, like I said, who likes to fight, but if it has to be an adversarial relationship, I know who that person works for. I know if City Hall is anything like it is with senior staff and folks who are elected representatives as they snooze along and leave the rest of us out, I don't look forward to that being a beneficial relationship. We, the people, have to set the agenda and hold elected and appointed representatives' feet to the fire. There's no such magical person as an equity czar. It's up to us here on the ground to change whatever has happened to our lives, and it's up to us to make sure we shape and formulate policies that work. And I've told the city this many, many times. It may be something that they think will ameliorate all the years of neglect and disinvestment, but that will not. What's going to do that are policies that are sustainable, that go to the root of systemic poverty and racism. And that's something that the city is not prepared to speak about. What they want to do is put it in the personification of an equity czar. We're not having that. If we're going to spend money, we need to start solving problems through community land trusts, through small business incubators, through means that we know that work, but not in the personification of an individual. So that's my answer.
And last of all, City Council patted itself on the back for putting forward a plan for the I-26 connector.
Well, when's that going to happen? And when it does, it looks like it's going to be one of the worst environmental racist cases that ever were, with the obliteration. How do you surround poor people of color with expressways and loops? Nobody's even addressing that. Neither Hillcrest nor that community is low income over there. So that's been an abysmal failure, and there have been a lot of lives lost in the process at Malfunction Junction. So I guess too little, too late, and then woefully inadequate. So that's how I answer that. We need to take charge.
Friends, our candidate knows her stuff. She knows City Hall. She knows the people who work there. She knows City Council. She knows development. Give her a hand.